All right, what's going on, Bulls Nation? We are less than 24 hours away from the trade deadline, and the Bulls still does not have a point guard. So we're gonna kind of dissect which are options here right after this.
Let's talk about one of the most iconic basketball teams in the world. You're listening to Chicago Bulls Nation.
All right, Bulls Nation. So it is not a secret that the Bulls need a lot of things in the roster. Rim protection, three-point shooting, and point guard. And point guard kind of sucks because we do have a lot of guard in the lineup. We do have Kobe, we have Alex, we have Ayo, and Dragic as well. The problem is we don't have the type of point guard that would need the skill set for this particular group, meaning somebody who can defend like a bigger guard and can distribute the ball. Ideally can get his own shot as well, because we all know we have, like, especially last night when DeMar was not playing, there's stretches where we scored 14 points in a quarter, which is not good. I was great, but I don't know if he's the guy to lead this team. He's a good cornerstone, I guess, for the future. But since you do have DeMar, Zach, and Vooch in here, you want to maximize those guys. And I think a veteran point guard would do that. Now, we do have a veteran point guard in Dragic, but he's not the type of guard because he lost his explosiveness, his quickness already. So being, driving to the hole and kicking it out, that got out of the window now for Dragic. He's more of a, kind of slower type of point guard, do alley-oops and facilitate, but with that kind of speed you are limited in what you could do. He's not a dynamic point guard anymore. He used to be. But now what are our options? So these are, there's a trade rumor that's going around that the Lakers, Utah, and Timberwolves are brewing with this 3-team deal. And they all have the guards that I thought would fit the Bulls' need for now. The problem with the Bulls, as indicated on my previous videos, is that we cannot make large moves as far as guard is concerned because we do have Lonzo on the roster. So unless we are trading Lonzo, which I don't see the Bulls doing, then we can only make incremental changes. Basically a poor man's patch job when it comes to these guard play. So what are our options? So first and foremost, it's Mike Conley. Mike Conley would be, I would say, a perfect fit for this Bulls team. He's a veteran point guard, can defend, not as much as he used to, but he still could, defend. High IQ basketball player, doesn't make a whole lot of mistakes. Pass the ball real well, can shoot every once in a while. The problem with him is he makes $24 million, so that means to acquire him, you basically have to trade Lonzo if you don't want to trade one of your core. If you do trade one of your core instead of Lonzo, because let's be honest, why would Utah want Lonzo? I guess for the future perhaps, but it's Utah, it's Danny Ainge, they're rebuilding, they want assets, so maybe it'll be Lonzo and a draft pick. At that point, would you really want to do that? Because who knows if Lonzo's going to be back next year, like early next year. Who knows? If he does, he just gave away a young talent and a draft pick for a 35-year-old guard. Conley would have been nice as a pickup, on the buyout market or something, or if you're not gonna deal out real assets, maybe just Lonzo for Conley if you just want to get out of Lonzo's contract. But I doubt Utah wants that. So Conley is out of the picture. Second is D'Lo, D'Angelo Russell. Pretty good player, right? You can make an argument that he's better than Lonzo, maybe not on defense, but the problem with him is he's an unrestricted free agent, going to command a lot of money. You can't have him for rental. He's going to be expensive, so the Wolves are going to ask for a haul for him, draft capital, young players, and all that stuff. Again, if you have Lonzo on your team, it does not make sense to get D'Angelo Russell unless you're going to give up Lonzo and more. At that point, is D'Angelo really that much better than Lonzo, or would he really help the Bulls to fork out more assets to quote unquote save this season, which I don't even know if he could do that. I honestly don't believe so. What I refuse to do right now is fork out more assets to get something. I mean, unless you were getting Chris Paul, that would kind of guarantee you that it would catapult you, even though it's for a short window of 2 years. Sure, but if again, it all depends as well on how much are we willing to give up for, let's say, a 37-year-old Chris Paul. That's one thing that you have to balance when you're dealing with win now / mortgaging your future. Now, the other option would be Russell Westbrook, and I can hear people cringing right now, and I get it. I do get it. Russell Westbrook does not address anything on this Bulls team. He does not address playmaking. He does not address shooting and basketball IQ. Those are the things that he doesn't have. What is realistic with Westbrook, though, is that if he gets bought out by Utah, is we can get him for basically free. That is if we may maneuver some things. That is if he even makes it out to a buyout, because he's playing decent this year. Now, what Russell would bring to the team is that tenacity, which the Bulls are obviously lacking. They don't have that kind of dog in them. What he would bring, I would say the baggage that comes along with it is his attitude as well. Would he take shots away from Levine, DeMar? He needs the ball. He wanted to start, obviously, if that's going to be the case. He was coached by Billy. You can make an argument that he made his best run with Billy Donovan. Could Billy use him again? Obviously, he's not the same player anymore. But at this point, the Bulls are beggars, so they can't really be choosers at this point. Would he be an upgrade over Io? Maybe on a talent like name standpoint, I don't know. But when it comes down to it, honestly, he is the most realistic point guard, if bought out, that we could get for what we have. Because to be fair, we don't have any assets, nothing. So if we can get him for free, I'm willing to maybe give it a shot and experiment. Worst case scenario, you put Io back in there, you put him back on the bench, he'll be upset, send him home. Who cares, right? Like you probably have to get rid of Dragic and Tony Bradley to make room for him if he gets bought out and if he chooses the Bulls. But that is yet to be seen. But I'm open to that suggestion, because at this point I'm willing to try anything. But it'll be interesting to see tomorrow what kind of moves we still have to make to see if we can do anything with the limited resources to improve this team. But I would love to hear your thoughts, especially in the point guard situation, how you would address it if you are the GM. Love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you're a Bulls fan, and I'll see you guys in the next video.